everybody, to our Ayurveda talk. Have you ever experienced the room spinning or actually felt that you were spinning or suddenly felt lightheaded? Well, these sensations can be very alarming because they can become extreme and lead to things like vertigo. But fainting, dizziness, and vertigo all fall into a certain category that Ayurveda has simple solutions for. So, what is that category? Well, it's a vata and pitta imbalance. So, my name is Marie. I'm an Ayurvedic health practitioner, and I have many years of experience working with similar type of issues around dizziness and lightheadedness and even vertigo. In fact, I worked on somebody today that has had extreme vertigo going on for the last few months. And I have clients that have had it for years, off and on. They go in and out of it. So sometimes stress can cause it. So I see a lot of that. But throughout my journey as an Ayurvedic health practitioner, I've worked extensively with clients facing these kinds of challenges. So Ayurvedic has some simple remedies for you. Ayurveda can really break it down to a vata, ether air imbalance, and an excess of pitta. There are two types of dizziness we could go over just really quick. There's external, in other words, I'm still and the room around me feels like it's spinning. And then there's also the kind of dizziness where you just feel like you are in motion, like what's going on with me. So it may feels like you're spinning and you're off balance, like you just can't, like you don't know where you're stepping. Usually that's caused by an excess of pitta, the second one. And it can be very subtle. You can have a combination of all of them. And then when you're dealing with vertigo feels more like spinning. And there are people who can't even walk when vertigo get really bad. And it can be because of infections, head injuries, and also hearing loss or Meniere's disease. And you want to get that treated. So make sure that if you do have Meniere's disease, that you are getting that looked at, know what you're dealing with. Especially if you're going to go out and try to figure out doing your own remedies and home remedies, you want to consult with a healthcare provider. Anyway, what are some of the Ayurvedic treatments that can support you? Well, there's Abhyanga and Shirodhara. That's the bliss treatment. Shirodhara is oil that goes on the head. It will literally calm down everything that's going on in the head, grounds it. And I use this also for my head injury clients. Very, very helpful for calming the nervous system. So Shirodhara is specifically for vata and pitta excess. So it's definitely going to help with dizziness, fainting, and vertigo. And oftentimes with Shirodhara, I usually recommend that you do the full treatment, the full bliss treatment, and that includes the Abhyanga, which is full body oil. Remember, when you're dealing with dizziness, it's like wind, right? So we want to ground you, want to bring in more earth, and to do that, you want to have oil. So you get oil, daily Abhyanga, and you start putting the daily oil on your body and your skin and start grounding that nervous system. Having routine and plenty of rest will help. Getting nourishing foods. So if you're eating foods that are drying you out, you got to stop that. No cereal, no granola, no alcohol, nothing that is going to dry out but caffeine is going to dry you out. It really dysregulates the nervous system. So you want to really nourish the nervous system. You need to make sure it's also hydrated. Hydration is a big deal because if you're dehydrated, you're literally drying up, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. Pranayama, doing deep breathing, specifically Ujjayi breath. And if you're not sure how to do that, then we could go into detail about that another time. Ear pulling. So you take your index finger, you put it in your ear, and you go up, down, forward. And what that does is it actually helps to regulate the intracranial pressure. So it's very, very good for relieving dizziness. You just want to start pulling on your ears. Okay. I find it really interesting that when my little guys, my babies, would have ear infections, they were always pulling on their ear. It's like they just kind of knew, they intrinsically knew to pull on their ear, right? They hurt. They probably were doing it for that reason too. Sandalwood essential oil is also helpful. Now you're just going to smell it. You're not taking it in or ingesting it. It is just to be smelt. That is going to help with more of a pitta imbalance, dealing with vertigo and dizziness. Ghee and nausea treatment. So, ghee in the nose. You do 3 to 5 drops in the nose, each nostril, and you could do it melted. I like to use a dropper. You do not ever melt ghee in a microwave. You have to melt it naturally, which means I boil hot water. I pour the hot water in a bowl, a bigger bowl, and then I take a small little ceramic bowl with ghee in it and I place it in the middle of that boiling water and then it naturally melts it. And then I get a little dropper. You know, you can get droppers everywhere. I get a little dropper and then I do 3 to 5 drops in the nose at night before you go to bed. Massage it, go to bed. Okay. Now, if you have gas or constipation on a regular basis, this is another cause of dizziness and vertigo. So you need to make sure that you are having regularity with your elimination because that's a vata imbalance. So make sure that you are taking Triphala, which is a traditional Ayurvedic formulation that Ayurveda recommends. It is tridoshic. It is great for everyone. It's going to tone the colon. It's going to help elimination. It's going to help you be regular. So it's very beneficial. Okay, so now, if you're unsure as far as how to implement some of these remedies, please reach out to me. I'm happy to provide more information as far as how Ayurveda deals with these. There are different Ayurvedic formulations that can be individualized for each person in their particular dosha. So, whatever your needs are, Ayurveda wants to make sure that you're getting what you need. So, remember also, if you're dealing with hypoglycemia, that can also cause dizziness. So make sure that you are keeping your blood sugar levels balanced, level. So no sugar, you guys. Sorry, can't have it. All right, now, if you found this information helpful, please like and subscribe on this video, and then reach out to me if you would like to have an Ayurveda consultation.